Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to talk about how to play Tokaido Solo. So Tokaido has been a game that's been around a while and is a classic kind of entry-level board game, I'd say. It's very straightforward. You travel along this path. Tokaido is the name of a path or road that travels from Kyoto to Edo, or otherwise currently known as Tokyo. And it used to be that it was like a rite of passage to travel along this road, to stop at all the inns, to meet the people along the road, and just, see all the sights. So basically, as you travel along, you stop at these locations, and most of them are just card driven. You would draw a card for each of the locations. Some allow you to donate to the temple up here, others allow you to gain money. The trick is that unless you're playing 4 to 5 players, pretty much anytime somebody is at a location, you have to skip past that location, and you cannot go backwards. You always have to go in one direction. You can actually start from this end and work this way if you want some variety. But you can only work in one direction, and whoever is in last is the person who's going to get to take their turn. So if you jump way ahead, you could then be sitting there waiting for everyone else to take their turns and catch up and pass you. These spots here with the seats at them are the inns. Now everybody has to stop at an inn and get some food. And the game kind of pauses at that point until everybody catches up at the inn, and then play proceeds forward. So in the solo mode for Tokaido, you're actually simulating 2 other players. You can play this game at 2-player count. You just have kind of a similar dummy player that you would play with, who just kind of moves along. They don't score any points. But in this one, these 2 players actually score points. So this is not a beat your own score type of mechanic or anything like that. You're actually competing for these spaces with these players. So it's pretty straightforward. Essentially, there's these deck of cards that are shuffled back up. You saw me doing that here. Every time you reach an inn, you shuffle back up this deck of Automa cards that moves them forward. There's a second deck over here that just have these cards on one side. These are actually their difficulty cards. These, you will turn over some of those for either yourself if you want to make it easier, or the opponent if you want to make it harder, giving them cards before the game starts. Right now I'm just playing on standard difficulty. So in the course of traveling from here to here, you can see kind of what we have acquired. I do have one, I'm working on 2 murals here. The other one's just kind of off camera there. But you spread them out here, they create a picture. So I have them side by side. I thought it would be easier for you guys to see how much space each Automa needs if we were further on than the very beginning. So we're going to play through a few rounds here. We'll probably go from this inn to this inn, and that will hopefully give me the opportunity to teach you guys how to control the Automa. You take your turn just like any other. If you're not familiar with Tokaido, I bet you will pick it up in watching me take my turns here now. So there you go. First things first, the person who's closest to the inn is the one that got there first, so the person who got there last actually gets to leave first. So, purple. This is purple's side. Purple, you can see, has stopped at 2 hot springs. They've started 1 mountain mural, and they've stopped to talk to 1 person. They also got a meal card when they stopped, and I forgot to go ahead and count off their meal cards. There we go. I actually did not get a meal card. I just had spent all my money on, you can see I have 3 souvenirs here. So I didn't have any money to buy any food. Not the best planning on my part, but here we go. All right, so purple, being last, is going to flip over one of these cards. This card's very straightforward. This one simply says they're going to move into the next open available space. Remember, you can't share spaces. All of them from here to here are open for them, so they're just going to simply move right here. Boom, and they're now painting a beach mural. So they're going to take one of these cards here. It does not matter for them which one they take. For you, you're going to take 1, and then 2, then 3, then 4, so it creates the picture. For them, they're just going to take their 1, stack it there, and then they're going to score points based on how many cards they have in that stack. All right, purple now has 1 card in that stack, so they score 1 point. All right, now it's me, so it's my turn. So the next space available to me is the temple. If I go here, I would have to actually donate money. I don't have any of that. The next space is the farm. That's going to give me money. You don't get any points from that step. You're basically stopping to help along the way, and you get paid for it. And I am in desperate need of money, so I'm going to go there. All right. I get 3 coins for helping out on the farm, and we'll just put those right here. All right, up next is the yellow meeple, who is still at the farm. So use the same exact deck for the 2 meeples, and you can use any color. I'm just using purple and yellow, so they're easy to identify. All right, so here we have a perfect example of some choices that the yellow player is going to have to make. So here we see that the Automa is willing to travel up to 3 spaces away, and these are blank spaces, okay? This is the space we occupy, or they occupy, and these are blank spaces, so they're going to ignore our 2 spaces. So their options are the temple, I think this is like a rice paddy mural, or the mountain mural, okay? If we look over here at their current player area, they don't have any of those 2 murals already started. They have the beach mural started, and they have visited an individual, and they've actually stopped by a farm 1 time. In this instance, where there is a tie for all the places they have visited, in this case 0 for all, they would go to the closest space. But there's another identifier on this card that is very important, and this means the temple space, which happens to be first for them, is the most important in their mind. So if there is a temple space in these 3 spaces, that's where they're going to go. All right, so that happens to be the very next space, so they'll slot in here in between us. And when the Automa takes the temple turn, they get to take 2 from the supply, put it at their player color, and then they score 2 points. All right, if I were to stop at a temple, I could donate money, and if I donate 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 3 coins, I would gain 1, 2, or 3 points, respectively. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most up here gets a little bonus achievement. All right, back to purple now, because they're in last. See how I jumped far enough ahead that it's going to take a minute for other people to take their turns. All right, now we see another temple priority card, but the player can only move 2 spaces, so 1 or 2. We have rice paddy mural or the mountain mural. Well, if we look over here at their side, they've already started the mountain mural, so they're going to forego stopping at the rice paddy mural and jump all the way to the mountains. All right, and they're going to take a mountain card, and they're going to score 2 points because there's now 2 cards in this stack, so they've caught up to me. When you are looking to see where for them to stop, and you have 2 columns that have already been started, you look to see which one they already have the most on, because by gaining a card, they're going to score the most points. They want to stop at a location that's going to get them the most points. So between these 2, they would each score 3 points, versus these 2, they would only score 2 points each. All right, let's do yellow again. So yellow is just going to do 2 spaces. So rice paddy or visit a person. And you can see they already have the visit a person. So they too are going to forego the rice paddy mural, visit a person. They're going to gain this. Normally these have fun stuff on the other side. Like this guy would say gain a sea panorama card, which would have been actually helpful to them. But they just get points for how many people they visited. So that's 2 points for them now. All right. It's my turn now. And I actually have started the rice paddy mural. So I'm going to hop right here, take advantage of the fact that I can stop there. In this case, I would look through and pull out the 2 so I can continue my picture. And since I got the number 2 one, I score 2 points. Now, since I'm in the back, I get to go again. Now, I'm really just kind of at this point foregoing the temple. If I stop here at the hot springs, I get 3, is it 3 or 2? It's 3, yeah, 3 victory points. Just 3 victory points, and whoever stops at the most at the end gets a bonus. Right now I'm way behind purple on hot springs, so I may just give that to them. Although, if I stop, see, this is the kind of strategy that you have to figure out during a multiplayer game as well. How far ahead can you go? Are people going to jump ahead of you and beat you to a space? I really want to stop at this market space because that's kind of my strategy for the game, is having the most souvenirs. Nobody else has any, but I'm also at the stage where I'm getting 5 and 7 points. And so I really want to stop at this point. I also would really like to stop here. So the question is, are people going to line up in front of me? I think somebody would stop here and stop here because they're working on these. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to this space. It's kind of a jump, but I'm okay with that. Again, I get the second round of a mural, and it's the mountain mural. It's tucked under here. I could move that up for you guys just for now, and I would score 2 more points. Boom, boom. All right, back to purple. Purple only wants to move 1 space. That's pretty straightforward. They're going to move here. They get to get 2 free coins to donate to the temple, and they score 2 points. They don't score cumulative of what's there. You only ever score the amount that you donate. All right, now it's yellow's turn. Let's see. Ooh, yellow might jump. So hot springs, beach mural, or souvenir shopping. They have already started on the beach mural, so they're going to jump to there. They're going to take a beach mural card. For them, it doesn't matter, and they'll score 2 points. Boom, boom. All right, now it's purple's turn. All I want is for purple to bypass me here and go here. Ideally, they go straight to lunch. Let's see. Ooh, only 1. Okay, so they're going to go here. They're going to take a 3rd hot spring card. So this player is kind of saying, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm getting the cards to just give you straight to 3 victory points every time and a 3-point bonus at the end, and that's all I care about. And he now scores 1, 2, 3 points. 1, 2, 3 for that. Purple gets to go again, so pretty smart move for purple. Maybe we should not have let him. Oh no! And he has decided, he's looking at my strategy, and he's like, no way, I don't want you to have this souvenir, so I'm going to block it from you. Since it's only 1, that's as far as he goes. He takes a card, he's going to start a new pile here off screen. I guess we could do this one for him. There we go. And he gets 1 point. So he blocked me, and that's part of the game. It's now my turn. I'm going to say, yeah, I'll take 3 free coins and just kind of build myself up for making sure I get some food this time and can buy some wares here. All right, so at this point, we don't need to flip cards because the only space these guys can go is the inn. So yellow's going to go, they'll be first. Then purple's going to go, and I will be last at the inn. All right. When you get to an inn, normally in the multiplayer rules, the first person to go to the inn draws the amount of players plus 1 cards from this deck. So in this case, 4. Gets to buy 1 and then leaves the rest for everybody else who comes along. So the sooner you get there, the better choice you get. For the Automa, it's a little differently. We just simply draw 4 cards, and you lay them out in the order you drew them. Boom, boom, boom. And you always give the Automa the cheapest ones. So if there's a tie, you just pick the first one drawn. So yellow gets first choice. So they're going to take these guys here. The other guys is going to take this one here. And you can see for them, they've actually doubled up on types of food. That's not something you can do as a human player if you're playing. You have to buy a different food. So you might be forced sometimes to either you can't buy food or buy a more expensive food in order to just have a variety. Because that was the whole point of going to the inns in the real journey, was to try different foods. In this case, I can go ahead and spend my 2 for sushi. They're exactly the same. And we'll just put it, you can put it anywhere, it doesn't matter. They tell you to arrange them for them down here, I guess because they're counting of columns for food doesn't matter. At this point, we all score 6 points. It was more important last time because I did not score any points, so they caught up to me. But there you go. There's the points being given, and this just goes to the bottom of the stack. At this point, then, we're going to go ahead and shuffle these up, create a new stack so we don't know quite what's coming. And really, that's it. You now know how to play Tokaido, and you know how to play it solo. There are some achievements that can be earned throughout the game. First person to complete each of the various murals, this one's 3, this one's 4, and this one's 5 pieces, get these achievements here. For you, you have to, complete the picture. For them, they just have to have, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the mountain ones, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the beach ones. If they do that before you, they claim those 3 extra achievement points. And then at the end of the game, there's achievement points for who has visited the most people, who has accumulated the highest gourmet food. So I'm okay with this one because this is total value of food that you have purchased throughout your trip. And so I'm at 2 and they're each at 2. So it's kind of helpful that they buy the cheap food. Here is who has collected the most souvenirs bonus. I'm in the lead for that one. And finally, who has visited the most hot springs. Purple is in the lead for that one. And that's it. You basically play until you've made it to the final inn. You do some very quick adding additional points in. You add up some for the temple, and then you pass out achievements. Whoever has the highest score wins, and that's it. So hopefully, if you see this game on the shelf and this kind of casual, very, easy flow game appeals to you, then go ahead and pick this one up. This one plays great multiplayer, and it plays great at higher counts because turns are so quick. Even at a 5-player game, your turns essentially take like seconds to take, so there's not a lot of downtime. But you can play this now even at, you've always been able to play it at 2 counts, but now that Stonemaier Games is producing the game, they have added in this solo mode, and so now you can play this solo. And I've actually had a great time playing this game solo. It works. It's this solo AI has been competitive. I have lost. I have come in second. I have won. So it definitely functions. If you're familiar with Tokaido, playing on the standard difficulty is kind of the way to go. But again, if you're new to the game, play on easy, give yourself a little bonus at the beginning, or if you find yourself crushing the AI, you can give them a little bonus at the beginning. But other than that, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.